Hello and welcome back, my bottle language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the bottle language guy, and welcome to the Jesus Enrique Rosas show number 95. 95? We are 95? Yeah, we are 95. I'm going to be making this live shows again, maybe 2 or 3 days a week. Let's see. It depends on how many news are there. We have a packed day today. Maybe we'll get to watch live whatever Trump is going to announce from the Oval Office today in around 1 hour. Let's see what's going on. Glad to see you in the chat. Keeping an eye on your comments. There is somebody in what I read. I read something here that I'm in early labor, and boy, did this make my day. Mrs. Danny Gray XO. I hope everything goes well. Blessings. This is okay. This is nice. So, best wishes for you. Best wishes for you and your family. So we are ready to begin. Let's review all the stuff that we have today. I have so much stuff in here. Let me see. A bit disjointed. We're gonna talk about, let me see, make sure to, before we announce everything. Today has been a very hectic day. Thank you, Denise H22, my ties for the time being are Carolina Herrera, suits and shirts by Hugo Boss. So there goes the advertising. This is not an advertising. I just love these brands. I am not an ambassador to these brands yet, but who knows if this can change in the future. But you know how it is when you are quite controversial in your in your points of view. Is like, and at the same time quite picky, sponsoring other let's say sponsoring brands. I mean, clothing would be nice, no problem. But I prefer to sell my own stuff. Right now, we're going to be talking about Trump's ultimatum to, well, Nicolas Maduro. That I know that maybe this topic, politics can be boring at times. Basically, everybody is talking about Venezuela. And as so many of you already know, I am Venezuelan. I haven't been able to return to my country because of reasons. I could be talking about Venezuela and all that we have been going through for hours. So many of you already know all my story. Maybe I will just a quick update. We're gonna be talking about that, how Trump is basically sent Maduro an ultimatum. We also have here some other topic. There's one topic that I want to address that is in the title, by the way. Let me see, what is that topic? A topic is about TPUSA, in which the guys at Wolves in Finance, by the way, I forgot to include. I mean, I've been all over the place today. I forgot to include. Let me see if I can fix this. If I can include my email. Can I include my email here, please, YouTube people? Because so many of you told me you have to watch Wolves and Finance latest video like as soon as possible. I'm gonna edit this right now. Yeah, that's so. Make sure that you know where to email me. You now have my email in the description of this live stream. And I got a handful, I would say like 4 or 5, which is a lot. It's not gonna lie, about this video made by the channel Wolves and Finance. Make sure to subscribe to them. And this video is the people that people are talking about. We will be talking about the first part of that video. Also, we have, of course, the usual suspect in these live streams. Where's my usual suspect? Where's the usual suspect? We're going to have a bit of Meghan, of course. Meghan. Meghanella. I don't know how to combine this. But the salmonella stock. We have a case of a mother and a tragedy in Thanksgiving that this is gonna be quite dark. I don't know if we're gonna have time to talk about this one before Donald Trump's announcement, but maybe we could analyze this clip and see what's going on. Selena Gomez is also out there, and people are asking me to analyze her. Well, let's see. Let's check out. There's also a thing where the son of Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones that was basically destroyed by Scott Jennings in CNN, and a couple more things. I don't know how much ground are we going to cover over this. Let me see. Let's see. I can put you in the chat. Highlight the chat. Let's see. Make sure that you have everything ready to begin. And there's a couple things that I want to mention as well. This one. Okay. I think that just getting some things ready. Again, the idea of this lives is to be able to have everything ready, but you know how it is. One sometimes has trouble getting everything sorted out. Remember that you can like and subscribe. Have you subscribed to my channel? And you might ask, how many channels do you have, Jesus? And I would say, yes, I have quite a few of them. Maybe we can talk today about not only the Power Pundit, but the Royal Rogue. About to begin. Okay, we can begin with Trump and the ultimatum. And I'm going to talk about this. I think that we can start talking about Trump and the ultimatum that he gave Nicolás Maduro, the president of Venezuela, last Friday, when they had a call. They had this phone call, and Trump essentially told Maduro that he had to leave, that he could essentially, give him some, guarantees, some security for him and his family, and he could essentially leave Venezuela. I know that there's going to be trolls in the comments. Thank you, mods, by the way, in advance. I'm going to say that this is about Venezuela's oil. I very much doubt so. The United States has a lot of oil and better oil than ours. We have more oil. Venezuelans have more oil, but the oil is very bad quality. And people are saying that this is, the usual change of regime. There's no change of regime. That's something that has to be said over and over again. There's no change of regime asking Maduro out, because we already voted Maduro out on July 2024, only that he, basically stole the elections and he decided to stay. That is the stuff that is happening right now. But so many of my lovely body language buddies and my royal rogues as well, so many of you are Americans. You might say, why would I care about Venezuela? There's a couple of things, but a good question. There's always a good question. I want to mention that Kristi Noem, basically the one who is in charge of the Department of Homeland Security, had a meeting with Trump. And we're going to say that this is related. All this is related. All that is happening is related, because she said, I just met with the president. I am recommending a full travel ban on every damn country. I mean, literally, damn country. If you cannot see that in your... Yeah, she literally said that. I mean, I am not against cussing. That sounds just strong. That's been flooding our nation with killers, leeches, and entitlement junkies. And I do agree. Every country should have the sovereignty to say, hey, you know what? We have been letting inside our country too many people that a lot of them from this particular culture, because yes, I'm going to say it with a pause before and after, so you can clip me out of context if you want. Some cultures are better than others. That is an objective truth. But I also say that people should be judged. Most people should have the opportunity to be judged on a case-by-case basis. But if I'm Venezuelan, for example, I have to understand that so many Venezuelans out there are mofos that, let's say that they drag our reputation down a lot. I do the impossible to try to put Venezuela's name out there. Carolina Herrera is Venezuelan as well. We do our best, but so many bad actors. I can completely understand that Kristi Noem, that Donald Trump, that Pete Hegseth, that so many Americans are fed up with, in general, people from other countries. I wouldn't even say third world countries, because there's so many stuff going on right now that we could talk about that. That there has to be some kind of cap or some kind of fixing what ICE essentially is doing right now, because during the Biden administration we know that was insane. Again, I have Venezuelan family and friends in the United States who are in not the best legal status, but we all agree that the first thing that you should do when you are in a country that is not yours is to behave properly. It's that simple. It's to behave properly. It's to behave, respect the law, love your brand new host country, and maybe if you are not in legal footing, you can get your legal footing sorted out, and maybe you can be of actual service to, in this case, the United States. But why not? That is a possibility. That is something that we could have. There's another discussion here, by the way. I think there's a Republican senator, if I remember correctly, that wants to pass a bill that completely eradicates any sort of double citizenship for any sort of American. So if you are a naturalized American, then you have to renounce your previous citizenship. And I understand the eagerness behind that, because usually when you are a citizen of a country, let's say if you were born in the country, it is implicit that you are pledging allegiance to that country, okay? And especially when you become a citizen of another country that is not the country that you were born in, usually, I think in every single time, you pledge allegiance to, I don't know, the country itself. I don't know if it's in the United States. What do you pledge allegiance to? The flag, the stuff. In some countries, it's the monarch, and so and so. And it's like the question that it was asked to a Colombian woman. I saw that clip a while ago. That she was asked if the United States, she is a naturalized American, if the United States enters a war with Colombia, which side would you be in? And she said Colombia. And what that is not gonna lie, that's a problem. That is a problem. We expect that the United States doesn't get into war with countries that we belong to. But in the case of Venezuela, I've told you that there can't be any war with Venezuela. That would last 15 minutes. That will last 15 minutes. I mean, again, I saw Black Hawk Down. If you haven't seen the movie Black Hawk Down, I have two recommendations for you. One, watch it as soon as possible. And number two, very important, make sure to watch it with the best sound possible. I mean, if you can watch it with the whole surround sound 7.1, better. That movie with a good sound is just a masterpiece. And again, it's like this confidence. No, there would be no war with Venezuela. Venezuela doesn't have the power, doesn't have the means to do anything with the United States. It sounds like too much confidence, but I can guarantee you that there's no problem. You send the drones. Then send the drones. Our forefathers built this nation on blood, sweat, and the unyielding love of freedom, not for foreign invaders to slaughter our heroes, suck it dry our hard-earned tax dollars, or snatch the benefits owed to Americans. We don't want them, not one, in all caps. And what I found, even there was almost 8 million views on X, is that the Department of Homeland Security itself literally posted every damn country. Oh my God, I love this stuff. I love this stuff. I find it funny. I find it trolling. We are living. This is the timest of times to be living. This is the most entertainment of timelines. I am enjoying this. I don't know. I don't know what would have happened. I have some ideas about what would have happened if Kamala Harris was a president right now. Now, there's one reason why I decided to campaign for Trump in those days. And by the way, I'm still getting flack because of that. It was this, I'm not going to name her, but this Venezuelan naturalized American woman who said that I did not vote for Trump, but I want to see my country free. And wait a second. There was this brain glitch in me. You did not what? You did not vote for Trump. So you mean you left Venezuela? Let me get this shit straight. You left Venezuela. You how do you say flee? And well, you went to the United States. She claims that it was when she was very little, but she knows what socialism and communism and all that did to Venezuela. And you voted for Kamala Harris. I mean, if there's some kind of Nobel Prize for retardation, you should get it. I will nominate you personally. And she then tweeted me that thanks for the insult and whatever. Why did I insult her with the retard thing? But I did not vote for anybody, blah, 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 and such and such. And I told her, like, the more that you try to explain yourself, the worse you look. Because that's exactly what happened, and how Hugo Chavez, that you have to flee the country while Hugo Chavez was in power. Hugo Chavez was in power because so many of us, myself included, did not vote for anybody on those elections. So I'm not going to vote for a populist like Trump. So if you're not voting for Trump, that is by indirectly giving Kamala the opportunity to be president. You retard. So that's what you deserve. That is what you do. You deserve to be called that. You come from Venezuela. You know that Venezuela has been destroyed by a narco tyranny that has been enabled by, long story, way too long story. I can get very passionate about that. I don't want to bore. Let's talk about memes. Let's talk about memes. I'm getting too boring. You're getting too boring, Jesus. You are not allowed to be bored. This is YouTube. People come here to get entertained. Are you not entertained? Let's watch one meme that is making the rounds online for your Christmas wish list. I mean, it was Pete Hegseth in his government account. You know that in X you can spot that the government accounts have a gray check mark, and it's has also the kind of the pin or the icon of the Department of War. So this is the Pete Hegseth through his governmental account. And I don't know if you are familiar with this Canadian books. Franklin goes to school, Franklin goes to the grocery store, and then this was a classic Franklin story. Franklin targets narco-terrorists, and Franklin, the tortoise, is this is basically not how I got it. This is why I don't use AI that much, but I will allow it this moment. this time, because this looks like a rifle, but this looks like a rocket launcher. Doesn't matter. He is just destroying drug boats. Look at that. Look at that. This is accurate drug boats. I'm here for this. And Data Republican, who is about to release a book with Joshua Lysak, by the way, on January, we still need to, that book is going to be amazing. I'm sure that it's going to be amazing. She also jumped into the AI slope. And yeah, sometimes we need that AI slope to, this is what AI is good for. This is what AI is for. Much better, much better. So that is the current situation. And those are the drug boats coming out of Venezuela, and that is the pressure that Donald Trump is exerting on Venezuela. And well, Maduro right now, you might be asking, what is Maduro doing right now? And Maduro, in fact, is the guy is. Let me show you. He was dancing. Last thing I saw, he was dancing. Here you can see him. U.S.-Venezuela conflict update. Maduro is currently dancing on stage at a public rally. And he's saying that he's not going to wait. And yeah, the guy is in this dilemma, right? The guy is in this dilemma. You either face the, let's say, the United States firepower, which is a lot, or if you dare to leave the cartels and everybody that you have enabled in Venezuelan soil is going to destroy you, like rip you apart. That is Maduro's reality, and I'm here for it, 100%. I wish with so many cameras out there, we could have some kind of, I don't know, pay-per-view, play-by-play analysis of what is going on. That would be just awesome. But again, I would like to know what you think about this in the comments, and I'm keeping an eye on your comments. This is the Jesus Enrique Rosa Show. We're going to be live 2 or 3 times a week. I'm going to make sure to highlight your comments. So many of you are, I see your comments. Some of you disagree with what is going on. I can understand. But the problem is, I'm going to talk briefly about voting machines. And I have viewers from all over the world, lovely viewers from all over the world. My body language buddies are from all over the world. And one thing is that all over the world, you have voting machines. Not everywhere. In the best case scenario, when you're going to elect your president or your prime minister or whatever, you do it with paper ballots on same-day voting. And of course, an ID to know who you are. An ID that they have to look on a book and you have to sign it. I mean, I remember elections in Venezuela were quite effective and trustworthy when we had to present our ID, which what we call cédula back in the, we still call it cédula. That is our ID. We have to do our lines. We got to go to these schools. The voting centers were in schools. I think they are in schools to this day. And then you made your line. You enter the classroom in which was the site where you're gonna vote. They check your ID. All right. They make you. No, that is at the end. They check your ID, then they check your thumbnail, all right, to make sure that you are you. Okay, the thumbnail then goes to a database in which confirms that biometrically that your biometrics match the ID that you're handling. This kind of was the first step for this digital ID. Our IDs were not digital, but they did a biometric scan at the moment. Then we went and there was the problem. We used to do the voting with just simple paper. Then we have the voting machines. And the voting machines were a machine in when you press your candidate on a digital screen, which was, the problem that is everywhere. And the machine had a paper come out with your vote. You checked, okay, this is what I voted for, and you went and you put that in a box. Okay, but the machine was the problem. The machine is the current problem. Then you went to the books and they searched for your name and ID on the books, and you made a signature. They took your fingerprints. So it was quite thorough, the way that they checked that you were you. And if somebody voted on your behalf, or maybe somebody voted with your data or your ID, then the book would be already filled. There would be some kind of error. So at least nobody could vote twice, in theory. When the voting machines did not exist, when it was just paper, I just have this, like say, this huge ballot was in paper, and you check the one that you just folded it and inserted that in a box. That was great, because then the only way to know the results was to count them manually at the end of the day. And it was not that hard, because there was enough people, and people from every single party could see the actual counting. There was no way of cheating that. The problem is the machines. And I made a video that and how the Venezuelan elections are stolen. I cannot directly say the company, because the company is very lawsuit happy, but it's very easy to find yourself a Venezuelan company that makes voting machines. And the problem is that all that, the data, the results are based on the data of the machines. Even if you have the, a copy of every single, there's a word for that. Actas. Actas would be the voting records, electoral records. So it would be the electoral records. What is an electoral record? When you count all the votes on yours at a certain school, and a certain school says that, okay, this candidate gets so many votes, this candidate gets so many votes, that goes into an electoral record, las actas, and literally if you have a copy of every single electoral record in the country, you literally know who won, because you have a copy of the actual counting of the actual votes of everybody. And basically that's what Maria Corina Machado, the leader of Venezuelan opposition, did in July. She got one guy in every single classroom, in every single school, all over Venezuela, to make sure to make a copy of the electoral record, of every single electoral record. And then they posted all that online. They made a website so anybody could check the actual records. And it is obvious, anybody can check, you can go online and check all those records. And everybody knows that Maduro is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. That is the thing. That is a beautiful thing about that. I disagree on Maria Corina Machado in many things, but that move was amazing. Why was that move amazing? That was the interesting part, because these companies, and especially the Venezuelan government, who has been perfecting the election stealing since, I don't know, maybe since the 2003 elections. Yeah, for more than 20 years, they have been perfecting stealing elections. They made these machines in a way that they are like crypto. You have this blockchain level security in which you cannot fake the results. All right? As in, you basically cannot. The actual results, quote unquote, you cannot fake them. But you can definitely fake the, let's say, who won. They say, okay, we got these numbers. We got this number. Maduro won by these numbers. Okay, well, where are the electoral records? They never show the electoral records. They never did. because everybody knows that they lied, and they can't even forge electoral records because of the system itself. I was that's the thing that has happened in Venezuela. I know that again, if in your country you use digital machines to vote, you're in trouble. It's as simple as that. You are in trouble. You will not escape that trouble. That is a huge problem. The only way to secure an election, and again, that's something that I'm very passionate about, because that is basically something fundamental behind asking people to register to vote and go and vote, because so many people are just disenchanted with voting itself. Voting is not going to change anything because they always cheat. Yes, you are right. But what if you can apply pressure to eliminate any sort of digital or machines or whatever? What if you can just focus on the paper ballots? Paper ballots, same day voting, ID, no matter what, you get 99% of your elections secure. That's the reality. That's what I don't want to happen in your country. What happened in mine, that is the situation that we are on. And again, this is the best shot that we've had, like in a long time, with how to get rid of these people, how to get rid of this narco tyranny. If they had a fair and free election tomorrow in Venezuela tomorrow, who would the people elect? They would elect either Maria Corina Machado or Edmundo González Urrutia. Edmundo González Urrutia is the legitimate president of Venezuela right now, and he simply cannot enter the country because there's no way. Another thing that I see so many Americans saying, Venezuelans should be able to oust Maduro themselves. They haven't done so because they don't want to. They haven't tried hard enough. I mean, I can understand. I totally understand that. Maybe I can explain at the end of this live stream. I want to move on to the next topic. But we definitely have tried. And by the way, since it's Americans that are telling me that we have not tried enough or hard enough to oust Maduro, I will recommend you two things. One, do not give up your guns. That Second Amendment, boy, protects you from a lot of stuff. If you're in a country that doesn't allow for people to own guns, and you have voting machines, it gets worse and worse. So don't give up your guns. And if you have voting machines, make sure to get rid of the voting machines. This is the thing that I needed to really advise you. I always feel the need. I know we can talk here about body language. We can talk here about so much stuff. But we need people to at least, the basics, trust their voting process. You say Democrats or liberals or all these people keep cheating. Anybody can cheat, but let's set the record straight. If you have voting machines, it doesn't matter if you're right wing or left wing. You can cheat. If you are in power, you can basically attain the infinite winning elections glitch. So that's something that I always remember that was in Trump's policies, Trump's proposed policies, number 19 of 20. I never forget that number because I know how important it is. Make elections secure. Secure elections. That is the most important thing. And if Trump does that, to me, it's going to be what are the most important things to achieve as president of the United States, because he will essentially make elections trustworthy again. You have paper ballots, same-day voting, and enforce ID no matter what. Then, so we can move on. What is the other topic? Oh, we have a crazy hot topic. We have a crazy hot topic about. I'm gonna just comment about this. You know that the things that I don't like to steal the spotlight from my fellow YouTubers. But there's this channel called Wolves and Finance, and some of you have reached out to me on my email that you can see in the description of this video. You can email me with tips. You can email me with videos that you've watched. And Wolves and Finance made this video about alleged, okay, I don't want to get in trouble, fraud in Turning Point USA. And this is the channel, Wolves and Finance. Make sure, and I want to make sure that you understand that this guy, I forgot his name. His name is, what is it? Wolves and Finance with Zach De Gregorio. So Zach was doing the numbers. There was this IRS forms that were missing. There was three of them that were not filed, and all of a sudden they appear with kind of a retroactive date. Okay, that is strange enough, I guess, but well, and what did he find in here? Well, he found only that they all of a sudden appeared when people began asking, or asking questions about this. That's why it's so important to ask questions. There's so much stuff, and I've made videos about Turning Point and the dudes at Turning Point, that their behavior is so reactive that something happens and they react to that. Something pops up and they react to that. Something pops up and they react to that. That is suspicious. Because, yeah, people are starting to dig into not only Charlie Kirk's assassination, but what was going behind closed doors. And what was going behind closed doors, well, it's really concerning. The other thing that Zach spotted, this is the intro, is that there were basically the two main independent contractors of the Turning Point USA, TPUSA, is the independent contractors, was Tyler Boyer, who is basically one of the head honchos at Turning Point itself. Zach mentioned, by the way, you see that there's something redacted in here, and that the problem is, I'm just going to mention this passingly in this file, in the filing of this. This was the actual address of Tyler Boyer. Zach made sure to say that please do not do anything regarding that address. I'm going to say that myself. Don't do anything regarding that address. He looked for that address on Google Maps. The only thing that he did is it was quite a huge mansion, according to Zach's words. That is interesting. And there was quite some money, as in this case was Chief Operations Officer Services. He's like an independent contractor. Yeah, you can have a chief operation officer as an independent contractor as chief operating officer. But the other one was something called 110 LLC. And okay, 110 LLC. And there was an address for 110 LLC. And 110 LLC had received $1.5 million, which is not a negligible amount of money. And why? What was those 1.5 million? Social and digital media ad placement. Oh my God! I need to create. I need to create an agency that works on that. I need that. I need to create a. We could get together. Maybe if you know about marketing, we should we should make a social and digital media and ad placement a company. My God, 1.5 million. That is nice money. But then Zach was a bit concerned about they receiving that amount of money and say, I'm going to pay them a visit. And the address is in Arizona. And the guy went to Arizona and found out that the address of 110 LLC is literally a strip mall. And that's it. I would have been really surprised. I don't know how much Zach had to travel for this. And he walked the whole strip mall. And no, there was no company in charge of media or anything. It was it was your usual American strip mall with your nail salon and stuff, and your pet grooming, and that's it. And what is going on here? What is going on here? So he kept digging, and I'm gonna play some clips of his video. I'm sure that he doesn't mind. Let me see. We can play this.
Location. Does this company actually exist? Well, we do have records that it is owned by someone named Jake Hoffman, who is actually the former communications director for Turning Point USA.
Okay, the owner of that company, who had been getting $1.5 million, is from a former communications director at TPUSA. Very, extremely convenient. Let me see if I can fix this captions just very quickly. I can do this. I can do this. Where am I? Okay, I can put this right here. Much better. Much better.
A Republican state senator in Arizona.
Okay, wait a second. What?
Director for Turning Point USA. He is now a Republican state senator in Arizona.
Okay, he is now a Republican state senator in Arizona. The plot thickens.
Now, just to give you some context, Jake Hoffman is a really powerful person in Arizona, which may be why no one has talked about this before.
Yeah, it was very interesting that it all began, falling into place. And at the same time, Jake reminded us that Turning Point is about to have this huge event. I'm gonna fast forward here. I'm gonna tell you what is Jake's channel. I'm going to okay.
To know the specific audit procedure that you did to ensure that this was a legitimate company and not an illegal payment to a politician.
Yeah, because the politician is the owner of a company whose address, basically the company doesn't exist at that address. You see the black hole that we're talking about?
In a few weeks, Turning Point is hosting their biggest event of the year, America Fest. All of your favorite content creators will be showing up in Phoenix, Arizona.
Not me, sadly.
To give speeches. I wonder if any of these people have a problem with Turning Point sending $1.5 million to a parking lot.
That is the silver lining. I was not invited, but at the same time, if I had found out about this, no. That's why I prefer to just go like Kung Fury. I work alone. I work like this. That is not my Batman voice. This is my Batman voice. I work alone.
Are any of them going to address in their speech any of the financial concerns at Turning Point?
My guess is that no, Zach, that they are not going to do that. I mean, again, I'm going to recommend Zach's channel again, which is Wolves and Finance. Make sure to follow Zach at his channel. And that was has been making videos. And thanks to those who reach out to me on my email and send me this video, because, well, my mind was blown with this. And again, I always thought about that. It would be nice to, you know, get invited to these events and, you know, speak in front of tens of thousands of people. Sometimes I speak in front of tens of thousands of people. I here in my live streams, so you know what I mean. You know, face to face. I was talking about that on an Instagram live the other day. I was testing lives on Instagram. I was talking about that, how important it is to be face to face. But oh man, the problem is when you begin to hang out with people that, okay, it's suspicious activity. And as I've told you over and over again, and one of the problems here that I see, for example, with not with Erica Kirk, I would say one of the problems that Erica Kirk has, I want to correct my wording. I think that one of the problems that Erica Kirk has is that she is the CEO of Turning Point, right? And she being the CEO of Turning Point, my advice, I'm going to give her PR advice as I have given Meghan Markle PR advice. And we're going to be talking about Meghan in a minute. I'm going to give Erica Kirk urgent advice. The same way that Steve Jobs back in the day, maybe that backfired, but well, this is the same. The same way that Steve Jobs had to find a CEO for Apple back in the day, and he went for Pepsi's Jake Scully. Again, that did not turn out well, but that is important because that way then Steve Jobs could focus on products and not in the running of the company, of Apple back in the day. The same way Erica Kirk absolutely should either name one of the TPUSA dudes CEO, or look for somebody outside TPUSA, which would require for Erica to have the clout to just tell the TPUSA dudes to shut up, because I think that she is about to take the fall for things that she had absolutely no say. She had nothing to do with, and that is going to be Marissa Mayer levels of destruction. I mean, I'm putting a lot of references here, but that's going to happen. That's going to be Marissa Mayer at Yahoo level of destruction, and I don't think that Erica Kirk had anything to do with the Charlie Kirk's assassination, of course, but I do think that she trying to lead some way or another. Turning Point is not going to end well for her, because there's a lot of stuff, a lot of loose ends that I'm sure that she has no awareness about. And if she does have awareness of this is going to be even worse. She has to look for a CEO even quicker, because people are not going to stop digging into this in every way imaginable. And I'm not gonna lie, I am here for this. Again, I have nothing against Erica Kirk. I don't think that she has anything to do with nothing, with the assassination or whatever TPUSA was working. Then you might be asking the question, then you think Charlie Kirk was aware of what was going on? This is a problem. And this is a problem in which I think this is too fresh or too soon to be talking about these topics. But I think that an organization like TPUSA, you need a lot of people handling many moving parts. And you can be aware of most of those moving parts, but the things of delegating is that you have to delegate responsibility over those moving parts. Was Charlie Kirk aware of absolutely every single moving part while simultaneously knowing that he had to be the literal face of TPUSA and be in all these events, that the events were the most important thing because he had to go, he had the had the ability to debate, had the ability to raise money. He was wearing so many hats at the same time. Was he aware of everything that was going on? I think that it was massive. When you look at the massive scope of what is TPUSA, though that was not easy. And of course it all hinged around Charlie Kirk's figure. I think that Erica Kirk should, I wouldn't be surprised that she's gonna do that more sooner than later. She's gonna, I don't know if she's gonna name Andrew Colbert or so. Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea, but that's something that she should be doing sooner than later. And yeah, people are completely obsessed. And I see your comments. I see your comments. Keeping an eye on your comments and noticing that this you're aware of everything that is going on. I want to make sure. I'm checking the White House. Trump is still in the cabinet meeting. Let's see that. What is he talking about right now? He was. This is live. Oh, sorry. Wait a second.
Poisoning of the American people, killing hundreds of thousands of Americans. So the president had the courage to designate these cartels as designated terrorist organizations. Now, a number of us here served in the military and spent 20 years fighting terrorists like Al-Qaeda and ISIS on the other side of the world. How do you treat Al-Qaeda and ISIS? Do you arrest them and treat them, pat them on the head and say, don't do that again? Or do you end the problem directly by taking a lethal, kinetic approach? And that's the way President Trump has authorized the War Department to look at these cartels. And I wish everybody could be in the room watching our professionals like Mitch Bradley, Admiral Mitch Bradley, and others at JSOC and SOCOM and other commanders. The deliberative process, the detail, the rigorous, the intel, the legal, the evidence-based way that we're able to, with sources and methods that we can't reveal here, that make sure that every one of those drug boats is tied to a designated terrorist organization. We know who's on it, what they're doing, what they're carrying. All these white bales are not Christmas gifts from Santa. This is drugs running on four-motor fast boats or submarines that we've also struck. No one's fishing on a submarine. And I have empowered them to make that call. Now, the first couple of strikes, as any leader would want, you want to own that responsibility. So I said, I'm going to be the one to make the call after getting all the information and make sure it's the right strike. That was September 2nd. There's a lot of intelligence that goes into that, building that case and understanding that, a lot of people providing information.
Okay, during this cabinet meeting, I think we can wait. The Oval Office announcement is going to be in I don't think it's going to be in. It should be in 7 minutes, right? They said they're going to have this very important announcement from the Oval Office, and let me see if I can make sure. I'm going to manipulate it, do some kind of sorcery behind the scenes, and make sure that I can see. Oh, the White House YouTube. Again, I can reload it in case that the Oval Office announcement. So yes, there's a lot of stuff that we should be talking about. Yeah, this is a thing that I don't understand. I mean, it's like reporters are asking over and over again about the two people who were not killed in the first, in the first attack, and I'm not joking. I am upset, not because you did not do the job properly in one shot. Paraphrasing Jaws, we're gonna need a bigger bomb. That's the quote, right? We're gonna need a bigger bomb. And Democrats are now, and liberals are defending drug traffickers, and it was not unexpected. It was completely expected. It's something that it was going to happen, It was bound to happen. We need to talk about Meghan right now briefly before maybe we have a chance to sort of talk about Meghan. Let's add some levity just in case. So many of you already are aware. Some of you already have grabbed your spot. I have opened my coaching again. I told you, I think I told you not only on X, I sent you an email. I'm on Substack right now. You remember that my Substack, my blog was kinesics.com. This is still kinesics.com, but I am now on Substack. I sent you an email. I'm coaching again, coaching on body language, on persuasion, on anti-manipulation. If you are feeling stuck, you feel that you don't know how to play the game that professionals have to play. So sometimes it's disheartening that you may have this all talent and experience, and people with less talent than you, with less experience than you, somehow get ahead. It has happened to me, and it's really frustrating until I knew how to play the game. So not only I knew how to play the game, but also to become an authority, in this case body language, but also an authority in, let's say, places that I had no idea what I was doing, like in the British Royals thing with the Royal Rogue. So yes, I have the bragging rights to tell you that if you need me at any point in terms of persuasion, influence, you want to become an authority in your niche, in your industry, you can reach out. You can go to the link in the description and let's book a strategy call. The strategy call, I will help you get all your stuff sorted together and not be, overlooked again. At any point, I can get you to any level that you want. I can get you at any level that you want. Let's talk about Meghan. That's level of Meghan. We need to talk about Meghan. We need to talk about the Duchess of Sausages. And why? Because, there's a meltdown, a PR meltdown, in which she doesn't like to be called Salmonella Sussex. And I won't call her Salmonella Sussex. Well, first, because I don't want to say the word Sussex, because the people of Sussex doesn't deserve to be called that all the time. So, that the Salmonella sausage, make sure that you handle your sausages properly. That came out wrong. That came out really wrong. But, okay. I cannot help you telling you how to handle your sausage. I was about to say the thing that I was about to say, but I'm not gonna say it. But it turns out that Meghan is in complete meltdown because this was not a 1 or 2 day thing. Like, people are calling this over and over again. This is worse. This is worse than anything that Meghan has gone through, because it's been days and it's been amplified by other, let's say, media that usually don't call her this things. That they are trying to play this game, even if there's still these headlines that try to say that, what happened? That Kris Jenner thing? No matter, you can keep mentioning Kris Jenner. This is the kind of stuff that they try to do. Now the articles are trying to keep referring to the Kris Jenner birthday party so people forget about the Salmonella sausage. This is something that you do in public relations. You try to make noise with something to distract people from. Meghan Markle threw a fit after Kris Jenner's 70th birthday bash after realizing how bad she looked compared to other glam guests. No, it's like, to be fair, Meghan was looking mostly okay at Kris Jenner's birthday party. She did not look okay for that Harper's Bazaar cover, which Meghan herself approved, and people are talking about that. So imagine who in the right mind is December 1st, that was yesterday, They're talking about Kris Jenner's party. Yeah, Meghan absolutely wants the salmonella stuff going away. And the salmonella stuff is not going away. You know that the most problematic thing about this, of course, is that what are Meghan's products? Meghan's products are about homemade jam. Things did in her home that we know that are not made in her home, or whatever they're made. I don't know if they're made in China or what. I have no idea. Or there's another state in the United States where all that is made. I don't know. But the problem is that she works with food. And if you are salmonella sausage and you work with food, that association is not very good. By the way, I should make a video. I should write this down. Milo Yiannopoulos has been doing some reaction videos to Meghan's stuff, and well, yeah, I had to do the Milo Yiannopoulos reaction to his reaction. You know how is this? But this has been really funny reactions. But now we have casualties. Not because of the salmonella, but because of Meghan herself. It seems that thanks to Molly's Mama, shout out to Molly's Mama for sharing this. Allegedly, Meredith Maines has her food half out the grifter's door. This blind item from Crazy Days and Nights, the communications director is about to walk away from the illiterate one. And Mexi refuses to take PR wisdom. I have spoken directly to Meghan on my camera so many times since 2021. Yeah, Meghan. I remember, even for Meghan's mental health, like I have given Meghan free mental health advice. Meghan, when you feel so overwhelmed by all the comments or all the vitriol that you search online with your 17 different social media accounts, don't do that. You grab your laptop firmly and you slowly close the laptop. And that's it. You've been bullied online. Bullied online. You close the laptop. You close it. You hire one minion at Archwell and tell him, hey, you go and check my mentions. You go and tell me what people are saying about me. That's what you do. That's the real thing that you do, not checking that yourself. That's going to be disheartening unless you grow a thicker skin. I have had to grow a thicker skin now, since many months ago, because I realized that most social media is no longer a place to have an actual discussion. I have tried. And again, I'm grateful that we still have kind of a small group here that I can live stream, and I don't have to be on the lookout for crazy people on the comments, and my mods are, sharpshooters in that regard. But yeah, don't pay attention to that. And that's me. I guess that's why Meghan locked those comments on Instagram. But she also hid the likes. Why would you hid likes? So this lady, Meredith Maines, it seems that she's out as well. And I'm pretty sure that she is good at her job. This is her bio on X. CCO, Office of Prince Harry and Meghan, Duke and Duchess of Sausages, former marketing partner of Lightspeed VP, head of Hulu Communications, Stanford alum, wife and mom. Yeah, sounds like, oh my God, she joined Twitter like in the ancient era. I joined Twitter on June 2009 on my first account, by the way. And yeah, she's out. Meghan is not paying attention to her. Sadly, because that's what public relations are for. Public relations is made to fix whatever you are doing with your brand. And we know that Meghan loves the attention. Yeah, the bacteria is spread to other surfaces, including jewelry, with improper handling, and we don't know which other surfaces. Big shout out to J.E. May, one of our mods. And, CW joined before Meghan. You joined before Meghan? Well, I'm impressed. Well, some people joined Twitter on 2006. Imagine that. They were this, basically, you didn't have even DMs back in the day. But that's the problem with Meghan. I've said time and time again, it's so easy. It would be so easy to just build. And I can understand that. Meghan has the same problem that I've had so many times. I've been jumping from one topic to another. I'm like chasing so many cars at the same time. I have been there. I cannot criticize Meghan for being all over the place. The problem is that Meghan absolutely must have people with the experience, with the chops, with the bragging rights to say, hey, you know what? This is what you should do. But Meghan won't listen. Because, Meghan being Meghan. That is the actual thing. That is what is going on, and that is not going to change. But I would love to know what you think about this in the comments. Let me see your comments. I think that we can move on directly into the next topic. I mean, the next topic is going to be a bit heavy. I think heavy is an understanding. Before we move on to the next topic, I'm going to highlight. No, I want to highlight your chat. I want to do an experiment here. Wait a second. I want to try to do something. Okay, I want to, let's see. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's I just mentioning that I was making some experiment here on my software, and I just did something on the back end that I haven't been able to do like never. Oh, nice. Very nice. It's like I can separate this. For example, right now we are waiting for the White House to do that Oval Office announcement. What time is it in Washington, D.C. right now? Yeah, it should be right now. They're running late. They're running late. Let me see, make sure to. We are not in a rush. I can be here another hour. All right, so White House. Okay, they already finished. They finished let me see, just check. They finished the live stream that they had of the cabinet. I'm guessing that Trump is heading to the Oval Office right now for his announcement. Just making sure. Only 600 watching, almost 1 million subs. That's how YouTube works. But that's YouTube always asks if you really want to do the thing. Maybe YouTube wants me to do more live shows. At the same time, not everyone is interested in politics. I can understand that. I want to check here. So just in case, make sure that I go to the White House, also on X. White House. Okay, I'm just going to be reloading. Maybe I can answer some of your questions while we check if Trump is gonna speak, and I reload this over and over again just in case. Should be live. Okay. Let's see. Not sure why it's called social media, especially when many people use it to be very antisocial. I'm gonna tell you what happens. I had a realization that this year is that you can have only a certain size, a platform of certain size. Once a platform arrives at certain size, it stops being social media and just basically collapses into attention economy. And one of the things that was really great for many people, including myself, was the monetization of content. I am not going to say that the monetization of content was bad, but at the same time, that made a lot of people just create slop and engagement bait just to monetize engagement, which that, together with the amount of people in these platforms, it was not a good for the experience that we had, say, 15 years ago. 15 years ago. Jesus, what do you think of Trump pardoning the Honduras president? This is the kind of stuff that I don't have enough information. I would say that I couldn't know more or less of Honduras, even if I tried. I have no idea what is going on in there. I have no idea. I see everybody talking about Trump pardoning a guy who was into drug trafficking. I have no idea of how to confirm or deny that. So I'm not the best one to look for information on that one. Again, I don't know everything that's going on. I try to. Let me see. What we need to know is what is going to happen with those auto-pan pardons. What's going to happen to Ketanji Brown? Next president, Vance or Rubio? Vance with Rubio as VP? Vance with Rubio and VP will be solid, would be legit. I mean, I can see it very, very. Vance Rubio sounds catchy. Vance Rubio sounds catchy. And the memes are going to be lit. And so when you're doing a meet and greet in the USA, well, first I need some kind of security detail. Because I know that, I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of people in the United States. There have been no qualms about telling me how people feel about me and my views. But why? One of the things that I found the funniest is when people say, "Why do you defend the government of the United States?" I don't defend the government. I always call the shots. And when Trump does something that I think that is not the right call, I say it. I said that with the H-1B. I said that with the 600,000 Chinese students on colleges. They're not going to accept you either way. They're going to say, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Do you really think? Do you really think that I'm looking to be accepted? I mean, I have lived through so much stuff in my life. I am not looking for approval anymore. And I think my YouTube and my ex, especially my ex, are proof of that. I am tired. At this, I am tired in the good sense that I ran out of F's to give. And yes, sometimes you have to say, hey, this is the real deal. You have to do this. 2024, you have to vote for Donald Trump. And in so many instances, I told that to people that I knew that they did not like Donald Trump, but they knew that Kamala Harris was going to be worse. So, yeah, that's something that you you have to make that kind of tough decision. In my case, of course, it was a very easy decision to tell people, hey, go and vote for Trump. You have to vote for Trump. That is a thing that needs to be said. Let me see if Trump is not announcing anything right now, not live yet. Let me make a last check. Check one last time. I don't see anything live. Let's cover this. This topic is gonna be a bit heavy. Heavy is an understatement. Let's talk about this. Maybe you have seen this. Maybe you have seen this case. I'm going to. Do I have captions? No, we don't have captions. I think that for YouTube's sake, I should be hiding the kids' faces. You know, I've sometimes had trouble. Where am I? Cropping, crop bottom. Ah, nice. So we can see more of her. Let me prepare this. It was what? Oh, it's not working? Okay, that's much better. All right. I'm gonna tell you what this is about. Let's generate some captions. You are watching me work in real time again. I apologize. I did not have this ready on time. Grab some titles from audio. No, auto no. It's English. Double. Here we go. And we'll wait for. We're gonna talk about this case. This case. Is that true? Erica Kirk is pregnant? Is that yeah, you see, you're right. You see 7P Sig 27. There's a Vulcan right there. Okay, there's a Vulcan right there. I'm a fan of weaponry. I thought that maybe the problem is that maybe someday I will give you a tour through my studio. My studio is really small. It doesn't look like it, but it's really small. Maybe someday, okay, fingers crossed, I will be able to upgrade to a bigger studio, and then I have, I don't know, a full Knights Templar armor. This is one thing that I would have, and one samurai. I don't know, feudal, a Japanese feudal lord in the other. Those are the two that I want, and full of, I don't know, guns and swords and everything. Right now, I have to, you know, it's gonna be. I need to go for simplicity right now. Vance is the father. Why? Oh my God! You have been. All of you have been reading way too many, I don't know, fan fiction on Amazon. You know that the most profitable, if you're a writer, the most profitable genre of novels on Amazon is basically fantasy corn, right? That is a no-brainer. At some point, you know, I wrote smut. I used to write smut. I should make a video about that. I should make a LinkedIn post about what writing smut for 5 years taught me about B2B sales, something like that. And but my issue is that I am a man, and I don't know for what reason, but you see that the ones who have all the money on Amazon making bank are women basically writing pornography. that is literally that. That is 50 Shades of Grey. That is the largest. That's the most profitable thing. You can make real money in that. I mean, if you like to write and you like to, get raunchy stuff with that, you can do. But I'm afraid that if I'm a man, I'm not gonna do as good. So maybe I could look for a pseudonym, J.D. Steele, something like that. That is so that is so cheesy. J.D. Steele. J.D. Steele. This is way too much. As long as they say you're the father, Jesus. Are those silver things computer monitors? Yeah, don't know 443. Those are computer monitors. You think that I am in the cockpit of Messenger Z. You remember Messenger Z, that it has this tiny ship that was on his head. It was right in between his, like, a silver crown. I did that meme at some point. I feel like I'm on Messenger Z's head. That's why it feels like. But man, what JD Vance is? We need to make some kind of comic of that. Martha Hart. One of those Austin Power names. What was the Austin Powers opening? It was Gwyneth Paltrow's name. Wasn't Dixie Nermus. Dixie, what's your name? Dixie Nermus. Yes, we oh my God, yeah, this we need to talk about so much stuff. No, really, I wrote erotica a lot back in the day. All of that is, most of that is gone. Most of that was in Spanish. Again, I haven't got the hang of it. But in English, I know that I can make bank on Amazon, but I need a pseudonym. I mean, I can go for it. Oh yeah, what do you do? I write smut on Amazon, and then you see me rolling in a Lamborghini and with all the bling and stuff. What happened? Well, I became rich, right? And smart. Oh, nice, so nice. So how Christian of you. Well, Trump is not live, so we have to go with this one. Trump is not live, so we have to go with this one. Trigger alert. This is gonna be a heavy topic. This is a very heavy topic. We need to talk about that. We need to talk about this. But tasteful. My stuff was very tasteful. All right, that's 100% quality. It's not that the thing that are out there. My thing, what I wrote was very tasteful. It's not that's all that I'm gonna say. But we need to talk about this topic. This topic is gonna be very heavy. There's let's say a tragedy involved in here, and you might be asking, why am I going to talk about this if it's so recent and involves 3 children in Thanksgiving? But we need to talk about this because I was, in fact, I was, I'm going to tell you, I was messaging Scott Rouse. Big shout out to Scott Rouse, by the way. Scott Rouse, make sure to check his channel. I was messaging Scott. Scott, I want to cover this. What do I do? He hasn't replied yet. He must be busy. But what do I do with Scott? I'm going to, and I said, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. Mother speaks out after her 3 children died in a fire at their father's house on Thanksgiving. And the thing that I noticed, I'm going to play the video. I'm going to play the video, make sure that you watch it in full, and then we talk about this. Let's play the video, and then we talk about this. And you tell me, this is the body language analysis we're going to do. Yes, it's disturbing because it's the mother of the children, and it's those instances in which I have no idea how this works. Because my 3 children had died in a fire in Thanksgiving. I wouldn't have, I don't know. How do you have spirit or energy for that? I have zero idea how that works. And you might say, as so many people say, people grieve differently. Yeah, but I don't know that given an interview talking about the topic is part of the grieving. That is what is so unsettling about this. And what's more unsettling is, let's say, I'm not saying I don't want to get into trouble. I was telling Scott, I don't want to get into trouble. What do I do? I'm gonna play the video.
The boys had their little tight-knit group, but they always made sure to include Elena. They might have given her a little bit of a hard time because she was, the girl, but they always just wanted her, included in it.
But hours later, after they went to their dad's apartment, Feesby would get a call from her sister she never expected.
And I can't believe it. This is my reality right now.
Riley and Connor had died after a fire broke out inside the apartment, and Elena died a bit later from her injuries.
I was so excited for Christmas shopping, but no, it's just caskets.
Police say the kid's dad was treated for smoke inhalation, and Feesby says he's now out of the hospital.
You can sit here and say all you want to. I would have done this, this, and this, but when you're in the situation, it's completely different. But I will tell you that if I was in that situation, without a doubt, my kids would have been out or I would have been dead with them.
The cause of the fire is still unknown, and Feesby says she hopes the official investigation will provide clarity as to how this happened.
Hug your babies and enjoy them this Christmas because you have been in my... And you never know when it's the last day.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I know what Scott's gonna. If Scott makes this analysis, which I wouldn't blame him if he doesn't want to, because the topic is it's very disturbing. I know that the first thing that we'd say, we should do a collab. I'm going to tell Scott, we should do a collab. We should do some kind of a, simultaneous analysis or something, or at the same time, is that the glabella, the area here between the eyebrows, okay, we have our brows. When there's a sadness, actual, real sadness, real grief, the muscles of our eyebrows do something that doesn't make sense in theory. We have muscles that they can make our eyebrows closer, upwards, and downwards. And with real sadness, all of that happens at the same time. Both the muscles that bring our eyebrows up and the muscles that bring our eyebrows, our inner eyebrows down, act at the same time, and they form very particular, very specific, a very specific pattern of wrinkles in here, which is actual sadness. What is the problem? As some of you are mentioning, like CW, what if the mother has Botox? Well, the problem is that the face works as a system. Because the face doesn't work like independently of one another. Even if you had Botox in your brow area, and we know that Botox is very common to be applied not only in your brow area, in your glabella, but also in your forehead, in a way that even if you raise your eyebrows, then you're gonna see that there's absolutely no horizontal wrinkles. That's what Botox in that area does. Even so, you would see other areas of her face projecting actual sadness or emotion, and that is not what is happening here. Besides the crazy fact that she's given an interview in which all 3 of her children died. And I want to show you, and before we move forward, I want to show you something that was shared to me by British Magnolia on X. Let me see. I'm here. British Magnolia. This story is in a crime group I'm in. Mom made a huge rant about the father not having a scratch, burn, or dirt on him, even though he claims to have tried to save them after knocking on doors. Plus, the girl was sleeping in his bed with him. Why didn't he grab her when he saw fire? And there's this, oh my God, this is a very long rant here. Let me see if I can read this. Oh my God, this is a lot of if she is saying. I'm going to make this very clear. No one knows how broken I am. This is her on Facebook. She is kind of blaming him. If your kids were 80% burned and up and you don't have a burn or a single hair or not even the smoke in your face. My kid's father said he woke up to seeing and smelling smoke. My daughter was sleeping in bed with him. Wouldn't you have grabbed your daughter out of the bed and then go to the boys' room and all go see about the smoke? Like, she's blaming him. But how come this is happening here and she is giving this interview? I mean, this doesn't make sense. I'm going to try to read this because it's really long. I'm not going to read all this. Just go down the stairs to check if you're out yourself. You go to the bottom of the stairs and saw the fire in the kitchen. Wouldn't you turn around and go back upstairs and grab them and bring them out? My kid's father said once he got to the bottom of the stairs and saw the kitchen on fire, he ran outside screaming for help. I mean, this is insane. The father, according to the father, what the father said, went to the kitchen. He goes down to the kitchen because he smells the smoke. The kitchen is on fire. And instead of running upstairs to wake up his kids or just grab them and run away from the house, he went right out of the house to seek for help. She said once he got done knocking and went back into the front, the fire was too far gone and he tried to go in, but it was too smoky and had to keep running out coughing. What the F? His sister says her brother and herself tried going in and getting them, but his sister is on a steroid shot for asthma and you talk what? Bottom line, the story doesn't add up and there are holes in the story. If he would have brought the kids out when he went out knocking, they would be here. What? So as their mother, go ahead and say whatever you want, make me the bad guy, I'll take it, but I will get justice for my babies. Yeah, but it is the fact that you're giving an interview. The fact that you're giving an interview, this is insane. And the fact that you are acting this way and speaking this way about that, and just afterwards having this face. I'm going to play this without sound. Let's play this without the sound. Again, this is something that we, in body language, we see immediately. You don't see expression here. You don't see expression around her eyes. Could be Botox, but the mouth is not doing a sadness expression either. And as far as I know, you don't use Botox around your. You use Botox? You could use fillers, but maybe not Botox, or your face would be just paralyzed. Notice how she raises her eyebrows, and there's absolutely no wrinkles. Although she is actually raising her eyebrows, so her muscles are working. That is interesting. Yeah, that's the thing that I don't understand. I can't wait to get all the camera footage of everything from all angles, because that will show the truth. I'm pretty sure that we're going to have an interview with the father at any point, because this is going to explode. I'm pretty sure that this is going to explode. People are going to be asking questions. Why is she acting like this? Why did father acted like that? I don't know. With so many, I remember, I'm not saying that it's the same case, but I remember the case of little Emmanuel Haro, and I don't know. The truth will come to light, and then commenting on things. They see I'm making this a public post, and everyone can come here and read the final thing. This is so weird. This is basically what she did. Well, his family and friends can try and talk about how I was as a parent. What do you have to do if you were not there? She's saying that the father's family is making it about herself. How can it be about herself if she was not at the scene? I will not stop working with the detective, because if I had to make a guess on what happened with this, was he actually wasn't home. If anyone has any Ring camera footage facing the house or any cell phone footage, please send it to me. That would make more sense, but that wouldn't make sense with the way she is reacting. I mean, if she supposed that her husband left his kids and they died in a fire, how would you imagine any normal, barely normal mother would be? First of all, it would be angry, and she maybe she would be saying that in this interview. Now that I've said my piece and my share, I'm going to greet my babies that would still be here if this was sort of negligence while with their father. That would make sense. Yeah, that would make sense if he wasn't home. And she says, and on the other hand, she says, I am not bashing his parenting. I am not bashing his parenting. She's saying, so at the same time, she's saying that thanks to him, their kids, all their 3 kids died. But at the same time, in that post, she's saying, I am not bashing his parenting. I'm stating a truth that was told from the source. If I wanted to go there, I could post videos of my children saying how all that does is play video games and the house smells like smoke and yells at us both, mommy. That's bashing the parent, but I'm not going to do that. No, I have to. I want to screenshot this. You have to watch this for yourself. You have to watch this for yourself, because I'm pretty sure that you are not believing what I'm saying. Just going to screenshot this and include this in the video itself. So this is part of the, I am not bashing his parenting. I'm stating a truth that was told from the source. If I wanted to go there, I could post videos of my children saying how, quote, all that does is play video games and the house smells like smoke and yells at us, mommy. That's bashing the parent, but I'm not going to do that. Did that happen? Or did that not happen? I don't understand. I have no idea. I have no idea. This is extremely suspicious in so many ways. I'm gonna leave this a screenshot for you to judge for yourself. I know it's part of bad taste talking about this, but I saw the video and I absolutely needed to share this with you. Any mother would tear the father apart, even if he is not his fault. Yeah, she she would have so many emotions. She would be sad and grieving. She would be upset. She would be mad. She would be angry. She would be everything during that interview. She wouldn't be, I don't know how that works. I simply don't know how that works. How can anybody in that situation give an interview for the authorities? But no, not the authorities. The media. The media. Because I can talk to police, of course, to the authorities. Well, let's see what happened, and afterwards, then we find out. But this is so strange. Again, well, there's such a tragedy. Let me check in here, make sure. No, Trump is not live. Trump is still not live, as far as I can tell. Maybe that was an announcement through the Oval Office, but I don't see it anywhere. I'll look for it one last time. No. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Another good question, Christina. I wonder if the father of the kids is wealthy. It should be interesting. Should be interesting. Yeah, not every mother would tear the father apart, but the problem is that she, in that long post in Facebook, was basically saying that was his. She said repeatedly it was his fault. I mean, I'm going to mention something like this. When she made this interview, I can guarantee you that she already had the information that she, how that had happened. How did the thing happen? She had to process that first. And then after she processed that, after she spoke to authorities that they are doing the investigation, after that, then maybe the media call her and, hey, let's we want to do an interview of this tragedy and whatever. And then she gave this. So by this point, she given this interview. If she had suspicions that it was the father, she must have had some kind of emotion, some kind of say something about that. Say something about that. I don't know. It's such a tragedy. And in so many ways, let me see, check if Trump is not going to talk. Well, it seems that, no, I think I'm going to call it a day for today because my voice is not keeping up. I want to go easy. I want to go easy on my voice. Yeah, I understand Veronica's point that maybe she would tear the father apart. Again, the interview, given the interview, makes no sense. Again, let me see. There's a couple super chats. I want to read your super chats. SSJB, one of our trusty mods, thank you for facts, all your amazing 7 channels. I don't know how many channels, 3 channels. We can say 3 or 4 channels. More channels than Oprah gifting cars. There's one channel for you, another channel for you. You all get a channel. And J.E. May, thank you for all you do. Jesus, my pleasure, J.E. My pleasure. I try to do the best. I try to do the best, bring you the best. I thought that we could see Trump live, but let's see. Wait just one more minute, just in case the guy, maybe he was having a Big Mac. He was taking a 2-minute nap. That guy is a machine. But again, all these videos, well, this is going to be the mechanics of these live streams. I will try to do them 2 or 3 times a week. If I see that there has to be a video that has to come out really quickly, I'm going to just do the video. But the politics part is going into my Power Pundit channel here on YouTube. I have a Power Pundit channel in which I talk about American politics. I will be opening that gradually to worldwide politics, but right now I'm focusing on politics. One thing that I noticed is that obviously we are all here for human behavior, okay? And of course, the part of politics that, let's say, is more interesting for all of us is always human behavior. And it's always boils down to what people say. And maybe this is not politics, but in my channel about politics, I've noticed that when I talk about the behavior of some politicians, how some politicians are more entitled or what they do, the videos like take off. So that's a thing that actually has attraction. So the politics that we talk in this live stream, so you want to watch them as a standalone videos or share them with your family and friends, you can go to my Power Pundit channel because I'm going to upload those as standalone videos in there. When I talk about Meghan, of course, it goes on my Royal Rogue channel, which I talk about British royals and non-royals as well, the Temu royals. This topic, for example, I have a true crime channel, but I won't call this topic, the topic that we just covered, true crime, yet. I think it's too soon to talk about true crime. So this topic is going to go independently here on the Battle Language Guy. And what else? We did not talk about Selena Gomez today, but that would have gone on my Scene Surgeon channel, in which we're going to talk about celebs and stuff. Is Trump live? Trump is live. Trump is live now. Yes? Where? On X? We can find it. Where? No, I don't see it. Where? Trump is live, but where? Where can I see it? It's in YouTube. I don't see it in the White House website, YouTube channel. I don't see it in him live. You tell me, and I will go there instantly. Let me see in the White House. On X. Where are we? Oh, that is the cabinet meeting. That is not the Oval Office meeting. At 3 p.m. At 3 p.m. That's gonna be in. At 3 p.m. That's gonna be in 12 minutes. So you want to stay here? You want to stay here? We can stay here. Let's see. No, that is what is going on in RSBN is a rerun of the cabinet meeting that he had. You see the Hill, as Christina says. There's the Hill. It says, event will begin shortly. Trump makes announcement on newborn baby accounts. Newborn baby accounts. What? What? Let's see. Somebody can help me in the chat on X. Okay, you're still here, right? You're still watching. Okay, no, I haven't finished live. Are we still live? What? Why? Okay. Okay. So we're here. I still don't see Trump live. See headshot plus chat. Protecting children health. Investment accounts for newborns. That'll be a 401k. 401k. I'm seeing myself live on X right now. Oh, let me see. White House. The White House is. Oh, the White House is on. Thank you. White House is on. We will begin shortly. Here for it. Let's see what is this about. We're here. We can check this out. Why not? President Trump makes an announcement. Let's see what the announcement is. Let me check everything. Everything is in place here. Maybe I can fix this. All right. Log overlay. I'm gonna do something. Maybe you can help me wait for this. I'm going to. Okay, this is plain. This one is plain as well. Okay, I'm gonna be working here. Let's see. Because I want to do some stuff. So wait for this. I'm gonna show. Meanwhile, I'm gonna show. Before we begin, we're gonna show you the chat so you can see yourselves in here. You can chat and you can see yourself. I'm gonna be editing. I'm gonna do something while we wait. I'm going to advance some work in here because I need to edit the broadcast, the previous broadcast, and cut it. So I can, for example, send the Meghan stuff to. Just so you know, so you see that what I'm doing right now is like this is the thing that I didn't know how to do. This is like Inception. This is the thing that I already did in today's live stream. I didn't know that I just could export part of the live stream, so I can, for example, go here and go to the beginning of the Meghan topic and make a cut here. And export for the Royal Rogue. I can do this while we are waiting for Trump to. So I can update my Royal Rogue. Right here is the cut that I need to make. Make the cut. I remember that sometimes I did members only live streams, and I did some editing, some stuff. What's all the Meghan stuff? Let's see. It could be up all the way until here. Okay, I stopped talking. A rare moment in which I stopped talking, and now I can export this. How long is this? 9 minutes. 9 minutes. I can export this 9 minutes to on the Royal Rogue. While we wait for. Been doing multitasking in here. Watching me work right now. See, Royal Rogue, everything is in place. Export and rendering right now. Let me see your comments. White House says we will begin shortly. We're here. We're waiting for this to start. Let's see. Well, now I don't know what the announcement is gonna be. It should be important. You need an assistant. Just saying. Yeah. Christina, you always tell me that I need an assistant. I should right now. I can still do this on my own. Yeah, I still can work alone. I'm a mess sometimes. I I should be a bit more organized. I should have started today's live stream a bit earlier, but life gets in the way sometimes. And I said, I'm gonna start the live stream a bit later. So maybe we can wait 5 minutes. I need my own Jamie. Oh, there it comes. Trump's coming. Trump's coming.
As we had before, wasn't it? Yeah, but it was a good one.
Let's see.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and we're thrilled to be joined by one of the most successful business leaders and people anywhere in the country, whether it's technology, no matter what business you're talking about, there's really nobody quite like him. He's chairman and CEO of Dell Technologies. Make great everything, great computers, great everything. Michael Dell, very much of a legend, who's here with his really exciting announcement. It's so amazing, and much more importantly, he's here with his wonderful wife, Susan, and they have a special relationship. I think I can say that, really. It's very nice. I don't see too much of it. I see the opposite, but I don't see too much. I have two special people, and I've seen that. I've known that for a long time, and I think it's a tremendous thing. Also, the CEO of Altamir Capital, Brad Gerstner. Where are you, Brad? Brad Gerstner is a terrific fellow who's very much involved in this incredible thing that we're doing today, along with the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, Treasury Secretary, Scott Besson, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Commerce and Science and Transportation, Ted Cruz, House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Jason Smith, Vice Chairman of the House Republican Conference, Blake Moore, as well as the Chief Design Officer of the United States Airbnb co-founder, Joe Gebbia. I want to thank you all for being here. It's a great group. And I guess a potential Fed chair is here, too. I don't know. Are we allowed to say that? Potential. He's a respected person, that I can tell you. Thank you, Kevin. Today is Giving Tuesday. I don't know if anybody's heard that one before, but it is indeed Giving Tuesday, one of the biggest days of the year for philanthropy and charitable giving. And this afternoon, Michael and Susan Dell are committing to one of the largest private donations in American history, which will directly benefit the next generation of American children through the new Trump Accounts program that we created in our One Big Beautiful Bill. And Michael and Susan came to see me along with Brad, and they said, this is an idea. And I said, I think, it sounded just so good and so unique. But that's why he's been so successful, and they've been so successful in life and in business, because they're unique. Trump Accounts will be the first, I guess you could say, real trust funds for every American child, allowing family members, employers, corporations, generous donors to contribute money that will be invested and grow over the course of a child's life to be used for their benefit after they turn 18. So in other words, these are children that are going to, an investment's going to be made. That investment's going to continue to grow, we hope, right? We hope. And, but it will. And they'll feel like Michael Dell someday. But at 18, they'll have a lot of money, a lot more money than they would have had, and potentially a lot of money. But these accounts will track the overall stock market and will be 100% private property controlled by the child's guardians. In honor of America's 250th anniversary, the Dells are announcing today that they are giving 25 million American children $250 each to save and to invest in their personal Trump account. Now, that's the equivalent of $6.25 billion. In other words, to put it succinctly, Michael and Susan are giving $6.25 billion in total and as a total contribution. That's big stuff. I don't care who you are. That's big. Come here, give me a hand. Let me have a little of that luck rub off. That's fantastic, Susan. These gifts will be available to the first 25 million children aged 10 and under the zip codes where their median income is $150,000 or less. So they're giving them to children that won't be born particularly rich, and they're going to be hopefully very rich someday. This will give millions of dollars, millions of children, middle-class families a stake in American prosperity, a benefit from the rising stock market, and a better shot at the American dream. It really gives them a shot at the American dream. Michael and Susan, I want to thank you for this extraordinary act of kindness and patriotism and charity. This is truly one of the most generous acts in the history of our country. I mean, you don't hear about things like that, and we got to let people know he doesn't want and she doesn't care about that, but I do. I think when somebody does that, you got to let them know about it. As I mentioned, this gift is being made possible by the largest tax cuts in American history, which our Republican majorities passed earlier this year, and the Speaker worked so hard, and John Thune and Jason and all of them, every one of them. Ted Cruz is with us. He worked so hard getting that done. That was the biggest, most consequential bill they say ever passed. And you know, if they remember, Michael, they thought we had to put that in 12 to 14 bills. I said, I don't know if we can hold it that long with the Democrats. And we said, let's try doing it once. So we did, and people were surprised, but we got it done. So I congratulate you guys. Amazing job. Under that bill, the federal government will also automatically be making a one-time seed contribution of $1,000 into the tax-deferred Trump accounts for every newborn U.S. citizen, fulfilling a promise I made in the 2024 campaign. Trump accounts should grow to be worth many thousands of dollars by the time the child is 18, and even more by the time they are 20 or even 30 years old. We think it's going to be something really unique and really special. We hope many others will follow Michael and Susan's example and make their own contributions. I'll be doing it too, to the next generation, including businesses, churches, philanthropists, family members, and parents themselves. I think we're going to have a lot of people, Susan. I think a lot of people are going to be contribute. A lot of people are watching us right now. They might not be $6 billion plus, but there'll be a lot. There aren't too many people that are in the 6 billion range, but there'll be a lot. A lot of friends of mine have already told me they're going to contribute a lot of money, and a lot of them are going to leave a lot of money in their wills, so that's very important. And as you watch us today, I hope you'll be doing that. Contributions to Trump accounts will also be a great benefit for employers to offer their workers, which they'll be able to do tax-free. It's tax-free. We expect hundreds of major companies to announce plans to contribute to these accounts in the coming months, and we've had tremendous interest in that regard. So the Trump accounts will be available starting on July 4th of next year. And Michael and Susan, to you again, it's an amazing act of just incredible everything. I mean, the life you've led to be able to do this, even to be able to, even a lot of people have a good heart, but they can't give $6.25 billion. And Michael, probably knowing you, it's not the last of it either. It's not the last. But on behalf of the United States of America, I want to thank you both, and I want to thank all three. But I want to thank you both because you've been friends of mine, and it's a spectacular couple. This is really an amazing people. These are unique. And I'd like to have you come up and say a couple of words and tell us what you have in mind, because what you have in mind is good. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great honor to be with you here in the White House. And, you know, when you passed the Invest America Act on July 4th of this year, we were really inspired to see that happen. And this is something that, you know, Brad had first mentioned to us in 2021. We thought it was a great idea then, and it's amazing that it happened. And we also saw that this act would become a platform. And we believe the smartest investment that we can make is an investment in children. And this act has created a platform for families and friends and communities and companies and philanthropists to contribute to these accounts to create a savings and opportunity and hope and prosperity for tens of millions of children in this country. And Susan and I are super excited to announce our $6.25 billion gift to 25 million American children, 10 and under, and our gift will cover most of the children that are 10 and under that are not part of the federal program, the 0 to 2-year-olds, and who also live in zip codes where the median income is $150,000 or less. And I have spoken with a number of other wealthy Americans, philanthropists, and we are confident that others will join us because we all understand the incredible impact that a gift like this can have on the lives of young Americans. So again, it's a great honor for us to be here to be able to announce this. When I was 8 years old, I got a passbook savings account and I had, I think about $8 in it. And you go to the savings and loan and you give them a quarter and they'd stamp your account. And I got to see the power of compound interest early in my life. And that has brought me here to this moment. And hopefully will inspire that kind of opportunity for many more young people in this country. So again, thank you for the privilege of being here.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Susan. So beautiful. Thank you very much. Susan, would you like to say something?
I'd just like to say how excited we are to be a part of this. We believe that when children have a future that they can see is worth saving for, then that will help build hope and opportunity and prosperity for generations to come. So we're so excited to be doing this and hope to have many people join in our efforts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan. So beautiful. Brad,
Well, first, it's an incredible honor to be here, and we wouldn't be here without the passage of the Invest America Act, and everybody up here today played a role in getting that done. The Speaker, Ted Cruz, in drafting the legislation so that when the President placed the call to the Speaker and said, let's make this happen in the big, beautiful bill, Congress was ready to act. They had the legislation drafted. But I couldn't be more grateful for the friendship and the partnership of the Dells that really show the best of America. Today is Giving Tuesday, right? And the fact of the matter is, for decades, we've talked about the wealth gap. We've talked about too many people left out and left behind. This president was elected on a Main Street agenda to get the rest of America into the game. And that's exactly what this does. It gets every American child, 3.7 million children born every year, will now start life off with an investment account, seeded with $1,000. And then you're going to have great philanthropists, great Americans like Michael and Susan who are going to add money to those accounts. We're overwhelmed with the number of companies that want to contribute to these accounts. Already companies from Uber to NVIDIA, T-Mobile to Charter Communications, Dell, et cetera. The list goes on, and every day more companies are calling us, raising their hands and saying, we want to be part of this. It's like a 401k from birth. It's a benefit for the kids of our employees, right? Major philanthropists, but I think what this is going to unlock is the power of families. Moms and dads Venmoing and Apple Paying and $5, $10, right? And getting these kids into the game. When we had the roundtable at the White House earlier this year, Dara Khosrowshahi, the CEO of Uber, said, after fleeing Iran at the age of 9 with nothing, he came to America because it was the land of hope. And he said what the Invest America Act does is it bottles up hope for every child in America. Whether you're in rural Mississippi or rural Indiana, where I came from, inner city Trenton or Compton, you're now in the game, right? That act alone, I think, reinvigorates the American dream. It reinvigorates the idea of free market capitalism. Too many people are losing faith in you, sir, By passing the Invest America Act and getting all these kids into the game, this is a transformational act in this country forevermore. Every child starts off life in the game with a piece of the American dream compounding in the upside of America. So thank you for having us here.
I think the secretary first. I defer to the brains.
Good afternoon, everyone. And I think this is a major change in philanthropy and for American working families. It is the merging of President Trump's agenda of parallel prosperity, Main Street meets Wall Street. For the next 5 years, every child born in the U.S. will get a $1,000 Trump account that will be with them and compound for the next 18 years. Treasury Department with other branches of government is going to do financial literacy, and we are going to make sure that all American families have a stake in the success of the United States of America. So every day when the stock market goes up or down, and we believe over the 18 years it will go up and families will learn the power of compounding, that it will be a game changer. People who have a stake in the system and become more and more vested in the system, they do not want to bring down the system, they want to make it better. So I think we will look back on today and know that these Trump accounts, they have started a new age of the capitalism and market interest for the whole country. I also think that it is a game changer, as we're seeing with Michael and Susan Dell today, that Americans are the most generous people in the history of the world, and the Trump accounts will provide a vehicle for philanthropists such as Michael and Susan and many more to contribute. And at Treasury, we are working, so Michael and Susan want to do it for children born in the past 10 years, a certain income level. As Brad said, it can be tailored, it can be to employees. It could be a philanthropist could adopt a state, they can adopt a school, they can adopt a zip code, they can adopt a street. And so we will constantly see these accounts be topped up. For those of you on the Treasury, will be running this on the operational side. For those of you who would like to, you can go to trumpaccounts.gov today and see the homepage that has a basic outline. These will become operational on July 5th of this year. And we will have families start signing up for them. So, and that homepage will answer all the questions on eligibility and investments. And then finally, today we're here on Giving Tuesday. Michael and Susan have led the way, but I think that there's a chance that every Tuesday can become Giving Tuesday as more and more philanthropists see the power of this, of giving to American families, giving to American children, and giving everyone a stake in our great economy. So thank you very much.
I'll be brief. There's a lot of symbolism here today. Right here on the eve of the 250th anniversary of the greatest nation in the history of the world. We are the greatest nation by any objective measure. We're the most free, most powerful, most successful, and most benevolent nation that's ever been. And I think what you're seeing here is another exhibit of that. This idea, this vision came about because Brad and a couple of smart guys came up with this idea and then took a few years to sell the idea to everybody. And then these visionary legislators over here, Senator Ted Cruz and Blake Moore in the House and Jason Smith, the Ways and Means Chair, really caught the vision. And we put it into the big, beautiful bill, the Working Families Tax Cut. We've been saying all along that was drafted to really help lower and middle class earners in America. And this is one of the great features. One of the perils of having the big, beautiful bill and having it all in there together, the President and I have talked about many times, is that there's so many great things in that legislation, we don't have enough time to talk about all of it. So we need a moment to really focus on this. Giving Tuesday is a perfect time to do it. And it's absolutely perfect, I think, that July 5th becomes the operational date right after the nation's birthday. So what we're going to see here is a model that I don't think anyone has done anywhere in the world. They wouldn't have the capability to do it. They wouldn't have philanthropists and great Americans with big hearts like this who've earned their way and really fulfilled the American dream. And they have a vision and a desire for more and more people to do that. And so now, more and more Americans will. It kind of evens the playing field in a way, right? And everybody has an opportunity. So we're just excited to be a part of it, grateful to the vision, grateful to a president who leads from the front, who understands the potential of something like this. And this will be one of the many marquee achievements of the Trump administration. This will be one that people remember for a long, long time. And I think it can change the country. So thanks, Mr. President. Thanks, Brad, all of you for being a part. Thank you to the Dells. Really amazing. Thank you. Sure.
Thank you.
Well, I want to congratulate all the men and women up here. And, Mr. President, I think objectively on the merits, the case can be made that there has never been a president who's had a greater positive impact on the children of America than you have. And in particular, in this one big, beautiful bill, I think the two most long-lasting and far-reaching provisions are, number one, the school choice provision that you signed into law that is going to unleash tens of billions of dollars to scholarships to low-income kids all over the country and is going to change the lives of millions of kids. And the second provision is this provision right here, the Trump accounts. These Trump accounts, starting on July 4th, every child in America will have a personal investment account opened for them. Newborn children will have it seeded with $1,000. Parents and family and employers can contribute up to $5,000 a year in a tax-advantaged account. That money will be invested in the S&P 500 in the stock market, broad-based equity index account. Two massive benefits that change this country. Number one, every child in America will experience the benefits of compound growth. Take a little girl born next year. She's born next year. She has the account opened for her. $1,000 is automatically seeded. Her parents or family or an employer puts $5,000 a year each year into that account. If you assume the historic rate of growth of the S&P 500, which is 7% a year, by the time that little girl is 18, she will have $170,000 in that account. And if she keeps saving, by the time that little girl is 35, she will have $700,000 in that account. That is game-changing, and we're not talking the children of Michael and Susan Dell, the children of Donald Trump, the children of people of great success. We're talking the kids of a single mom waiting tables who could have $700,000 saved by the time she's 35 to get an education, to start a business, to buy a house. That changes their whole lives. But the second benefit, and what I'm really excited about, is we are creating a new generation of capitalists. Every child in America is going to be an owner of the biggest employers in this country. We've all seen the sad statistics of how many kids are losing faith in capitalism. Well, 10 years from now, a little boy is going to pull out his phone and he's going to look at his app and he's going to see his Trump account. And instead of thinking of big, bad, scary corporations, that little boy is going to say, I own $50 of Apple. I own $100 of Dell. I own $75 of McDonald's. And every child is an owner of the biggest employers in this country. That will transform this country. Mr. President, thank you for signing it. Let me say, Brad, this would not be a law if Brad Gerstner did not pursue it with absolute dogged determination, relentless. I've gotten calls and texts from Brad at 6 a.m. and at 2 a.m. You may sleep less than the president, Brad, and that is a remarkable thing because I don't think he sleeps at all. And finally, I'll just say to Michael and Susan, incredible Texans, $6.25 billion is extraordinarily generous. Let me say, on behalf of 25 million kids who just got a gift from Michael and Susan, and it's not a gift of a video game, it's not a gift of a bicycle, it's an investment in their future. That changes their lives, and I hope and believe Michael and Susan are going to inspire millions across the country to do the same thing. When Congress passed Section 401k of the ERISA, I don't know that anyone realized how much it would change retirement plans. There's now trillions of dollars in 401k plans. They're going to be trillions of dollars in these. These are 401ks for kids. And Mr. President, these Trump accounts exist because you signed them. Thank you for your leadership. It's an honor to work with you.
Jason, if you would
Perfect. Thank you. First, I would just want to thank Michael and Susan for the kind gift. What you all have done will be transformational for 25 million kids. And a lot of people we can thank for the provisions in this big, beautiful bill, but there is no one to thank greater than President Donald Trump. And I'll tell you this, out of every executive I've ever worked with, there's no one that's been more engaging, no one that has been more involved. And the only reason why these investment accounts are in the big, beautiful bill is because he helped convince other members of Congress that this is a good idea. This has been something that has been discussed for a long time, but no one could ever get it passed. But who helped get it passed was Donald Trump. I can tell you that from day one throughout the process. And so that's going to affect millions of kids in their futures.
Thank you. I was not planning or prepared to speak today, but the gravity of the situation is not lost on me. I have 4 boys of my own, 13 and under, and on the heels of a $6 billion announcement, I hope that doesn't go without some major headlines, that I will be making an announcement of my own that I will be contributing $60 to each one of my children's accounts today. Actually, to try to bring some levity to that, every parent, every grandpa and grandma can now look and say, I can get my grandkid this little toy or something, and maybe that's going to continue to happen. But there is a new option and another way for them to be able to invest and have a lasting legacy. And as a dad of 4 kids, seeing kids in our neighborhood, them to have that opportunity is something that not every day in Congress, as I've joked with my colleagues, is the most productive day in my career. But to be able to be a part of something like this is, it makes everything worthwhile. I'm away from my kids a ton in this job, and being able to be a part of something like this, a small part that I played, is something that is transformational, and I'll be able to look back on this and be so grateful for this opportunity that I've had to be able to serve in Congress. Thank you so much. I appreciate the chance to be here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Would anybody have a question? Michael, Susan? Yes. Brad? Please.
Yeah, one for you too. If you could, did either of you say you're donating how much? Mr. President, is there an educational value to this in terms of not just the money in the account? What can kids learn in this account?
Well, I think they can learn a little bit about the free enterprise system, they can really learn a lot about how life works, how business works. They want to go out and make a living for themselves, because maybe it's going to be a lot more than we think, or maybe it's not going to be quite as much as we think, depending on what happens with the world and the market. We'll try and do very well in that regard too, but there's a lot of learning to be done, and I think this is a big step forward.
And your reaction, did either of you say you're donating how much?
We already said it. It's $6.25 billion.
No, I mean with the reaction between the two of you. Someone came up with the idea.
Oh, sure. Oh, well. So we kind of started with a smaller amount, to be honest. And we started talking about Texas only at the beginning.
And adopting the state of Texas.
Right. And then we thought about it some more, and we thought
got pretty excited about the idea.
Yep, and we went back and forth, and as we do on these things, and we
got
ended
more
up
and more excited. And next thing you know,
this is where we ended up. So, but a lot of discussion and consideration over a long period of time.
Yeah.
We
believe
we feel great about it.
The greatest investment that we could possibly make is in children, and we've been investing in children for over 26 years with our foundation.
Yeah, and there are 30 states already that require at least one semester of financial literacy, and hopefully all 50 states will do that. And as children begin to understand that they have these accounts, that creates a real need for our schools, our parents, our community organizations to really begin to grow financial literacy in the country, which can only be a good thing.
It's really an amazing moment that 2 people would do that kind of a contribution. I mean, it's just an amazing moment. And it shows you there's a tremendous heart in great entrepreneurs. He's a great entrepreneur. They're both great entrepreneurs, because he probably wouldn't have done it without you, to be honest. That's the way it often works. And I know this relationship so well.
there could be a lot of truth to that. But it shows you that there's a big heart in some pretty tough people. He's a tough cookie, but he's got a very, very warm spot. And what you've done, I don't think it's going to be talked about for a long time. It won't be forgotten. Thank you, sir.
May I ask a question? Thank you, sir. My question is about the logistics or the administration of the program. You obviously want to help poorer children. How will you help families perhaps who don't have access to computers or internet at home to make this program a reality?
Do you want to maybe answer that question?
Sure. And please speak in the microphone if you don't mind.
Well, first, Treasury, as the Secretary talked about, is going to be administering the program. And we should just say that Luke Pettit, the Assistant Treasury Secretary, has just done an extraordinary job with the Secretary in what I think will be the biggest consumer launch in the history of government. 60 million accounts are going to get created next year. And these accounts are going to be promulgated. All parents are going to have to do is to claim the account. So if they have access to an Android phone or a public library to go to a computer and gain access, they can claim that account. And whether they claim it or not, the account is going to continue to compound. So they don't have a deadline by which they have to claim the account. There's time, right? And there's going to be a lot of resources. Think about this. Kids in school, we're going to have schools engaged, helping to tell them that they need to claim their accounts, to educate them, et cetera. We're going to run a big public campaign around this. So we're just getting started. Today is day one. This is an extraordinary contribution, but it's the beginning of a drumbeat you're going to hear for the next 6 months leading up to the 250th anniversary of the country. I don't think there's anybody in the country who won't have heard about this by the time we get to July 4th of next year. And we're going to make sure, listen, we know that wealthy families have access to 529 accounts, right? This is an opportunity, and the instruction was, how do we get the 50 million other families into the game? This is the first time we've done that because we're auto-creating these accounts for every child at birth, and so we're going to be very focused on making sure that every family entitled to get one of these accounts is able to claim it and get it.
Yes, sir. These programs seem to create an opportunity for parents to create unprecedented financial security for their children, sir. Do you believe that these accounts will be a big part of your legacy when everything goes down? We've heard talks about you being legacy as a peacemaker, but this is a really, really big deal.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I do think so, and I think it's a big part of everybody up here today. This was a group that was very instrumental, and in particular, obviously, Michael and Susan, it's a big part of their legacy. You know, they've got a big legacy anyway, but this is maybe going to be as important or more important than anything they've done thus far. It's looking back in 100 years from now, I think you're going to see some things that they'll be talking about this very day. So thank you for that question. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. These accounts were originally discussed as a way to incentivize people to have more children. Are there any other policy proposals you're looking at like this to encourage the birth rate to increase?
Well, we are looking at programs. We're looking at, there's a certain Australian plan that people are liking and they're talking about. You know what I mean? There's a plan where, not for children necessarily, but it's for people, working people. And we are looking at other things different from this. I think this is very unique, but different from this, but very important. Yeah.
You mean the Australian retirement savings program?
Say it?
You mean the Australian retirement savings
That's what they're
program?
talking about. Yep, we're looking at it very seriously. It's a good plan. It's worked out very well. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, can you talk about what tax benefits these accounts come with? The information sheet that we just received said that when a child turns 18, they'll be treated like traditional IRAs and subject to a 10% withdrawal tax.
Please,
can you speak to when
Sure.
her children will be able to access these funds?
They can access them when they're 18, or they can convert them to an IRA at that time. During the 18 years, parents or employers can donate with a tax deduction up to $5,000 into each account, and then philanthropists, like Michael and Susan, can add an unlimited amount to the accounts. So $5,000 from an employee there are families, and then gifts from foundations and philanthropists can be an unlimited amount.
Mr. President, you said that you have been talking to your wealthy friends, as well as you, Mr. Dell, about contributing. Can you walk us through maybe who you've been talking to and how much more we can expect on top of
I think the people you probably would think I would be talking to. There's a group of people out there that have been very successful, and we've already started talking to them. You know, we're doing ballrooms, we're doing arcs, we have a thing that's being planned that's going to be a great tribute to the country, as you know. You probably heard about it. The arc that we're looking at by the bridge near Arlington, there's going to be something. We're doing some other things for Washington itself and for the country itself. But a lot of the people that have, gone in and done a real job with that. The ballroom, I think Michael and Susan, the next time we meet, well, I think hopefully we'll meet before then, but we're going to have a big event over in the ballroom to celebrate this. We're building a ballroom that they've wanted at this beautiful White House for 150 years. They've wanted it so badly. Right now we can hold 109 people if you're lucky in a room. It's a beautiful room, but it's 109 people, and we're building something. You see the trucks.
Well, I'm getting bored. I'm getting ADHD from this. And but I get the idea behind having for babies a head start, like it would be like $1,000 over 4 years, right? That's what I understood, or $250. I don't know how it works, but it seems like a nice move from Michael Dell. I guess I really, this is the kind of topics, like you asked me about Honduras. This is the kind of topics that I simply have no way of knowing what is the real impact from that. There's a lot of compounding that could happen, but at the same time, there's a lot of inflation that basically robs the money of actual value. So again, I am not an economist. I thought that we're getting bigger news as well. I thought that they were announcing Half-Life 3. I've been waiting for Half-Life 3, like I don't know, like the lady from the Titanic. Like it's been 84 years or something. Hopefully we will get Half-Life 3 before we get GTA 6. I really don't care much about GTA 6. I do care about Half-Life 3. I really want. I could play Half-Life 3 here, and if it comes out. Oh my God, TPUSA is trending. Why is TPUSA trending? Say I'm going to what? Okay, I'm gonna check this. Oh well, that remind me of those live streams that we sometimes share. But it's it's nice to be sharing with you and joke with you. There's a lot of joking on those. Adjust my volume. Now, sorry. Now you're listening to the actual volume. Reacting with the words and stuff. Only text reactions. We are used to that. I really thought it was going to be something more. I'm not saying it's not interesting, but now I was getting bored. But again, I'm going to cut everything what we spoke about today, and I'm going to send it to the corresponding channels. Remember that my coaching is open. You can find the link in the description, and maybe tomorrow we can have another live stream. It's not going to be 2 hours and a half. I guarantee you, maybe 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. I think that is a sweet spot. But I'm amazed that so many of you stayed here. So for some reason, I must have some kind of dark magic that not even I speaking, but writing crazy stuff on screen. As long as I manifest in some way, it seems that you're gonna stay here. So I am really thankful for that. My body language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Until we meet on another video, another live stream, Remember the most important words. Much love and bliss. Take care. Be safe. I almost forget my words. Take care. Be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.